Welcome to Redpill Diaries. This is a big orange pill. It belongs to my dog. He's on his way to being red pilled. I've moved back into my bus to be, I don't know, to get in the spirit of the apocalypse. Been thinking about a few things the last couple of days, and a few of them are what we watch online and stuff. I've got an urge to watch a lot of movies. I watched a lot of a series that my ex-wife told me about. It was pretty good actually, called Mindhunter. And then I thought to myself, gee, I'm spending a lot of time doing this. I've got to balance my time, because I don't want to be down rabbit holes the whole time. It can't be a good way to spend, well, we don't know what time we have left because we really don't know anything, right? Don't let people fool you. When people talk in absolutes, don't let them fool you. No one knows anything. All we can do is reckon stuff. I reckon that there's a good chance that we could all be exterminated soon. I reckon there's a good chance of a massive power play going on between governments, or even forces behind governments that we aren't even aware of. I reckon that all this could be done on purpose. I reckon this could be legitimate. I reckon everything could actually be true at once. There could be every agenda happening at the same time. Some people doing things on accident, some people saying, oh hey, now that we've got that disease, now that it's reached our place, let's see if we can spread it down that town down the road that we don't like, you know? Everything has to be on the table. And yeah, as long as you think like that, well, then you'll do a little bit of everything. You'll remember to have fun, go out, do stuff. I mean, in the limitations. I mean, I didn't realize we had lockdown here the same as everywhere else. I was going to the store, like, carrying on my day, I mean, with a mask and shit. Well, not really, with a face covered thing. Now I've got a mask. Well, a mask. I'll get more soon, but I mean, they told us they do nothing, so I didn't buy them when I was first buying stuff. And I've been buying canned food since last year because I felt something was going to happen this year, and just weird that it was this, because I didn't get, I'll be honest, it didn't even come into one of my theories last year. But I thought it was just going to be something like an engineered crash, and I already saw they were for money printing and stuff and getting ready for pumping up the stock market, and then effectively they would deflate it again, which would then pump up the dollar, and all these things that are happening now, but for different reasons. Everyone's been doing all their gardening and stuff, doing things they probably wouldn't have time to do usually. So yeah, one of those things might be watch movies, have fun. Definitely isn't go out clubbing and meet some chicks. That's not going to happen. I really do feel sorry for 20-somethings and 30-somethings whose kind of youth has been ruined. Well, of course, the younger generations, even younger than that, the teenagers and stuff. The boomer generation, helped along by generations like mine, have really made a right old mess of the world. I suppose generations like mine, our problem is basically just going along with what happened and never saying anything, and I've got a pretty good job, so I mean I'm fine, so I'm not going to put myself in the firing line, which is commendable actually, because what's the point in sitting in jail or sitting with a petty criminal record that stops you being able to get a job? There's no point. You're sacrificing yourself like a lemming for nothing. Fun fact here, lemmings don't actually commit suicide. That was actually something that was staged. They don't actually just commit suicide in the water. It's quite horrible that they actually killed a whole bunch of lemmings, making that bullshit scene that it's actually horrible. I think it was a BBC documentary. Anyway, besides that, you can look it up. It'll be online somewhere, the reality of this. Oh look, new spring lambs out. Anyway, so I would say split the time, right? So sit there, right, what can I do with my time? How much time will I dedicate to waking myself up and keeping abreast with what's going on? Abreast. because if it is something really nefarious, you can't just sit there. Like I was going to do the other day, I thought, you know, maybe I should just stop watching all this stuff. Maybe because the thing is, at the end of the day, it's like reactionary. Oh, look, that's what's happening. No, 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 it's this. Oh, it's that. And you end up giving yourself like a one-man tug of war, going this way, that way, and making yourself just look like a headless chicken, right? When in the end, we'll probably never find out what's happening because well, we might find out what's happening, but it won't be mainstream accepted what happened, right? Whereas look at 9/11 after all these years, 99% of society still thinks that was a real event. I mean, not a real event that happened. I know it happened, but it was a real event that was actually as they say it was, which it completely wasn't. And it's not even a 1% chance anymore that it wasn't an event that was staged, and definitely wasn't the fault of the Afghanis and of the Iraqis, right? So basically, that's what we have to look forward to, because this is the 9/11 of our time, of this generation, if you like, of this time. We are entering a postmodern era, or as they've said in many you got to count them. I've seen 3 so far, news reports around the world that have said that have just mentioned blatantly, as if it's almost teasing the conspiracy theorists, at least, and the truthers, to say, so a new world order. You're saying new world order? Are you seriously that fucking thick, or are you doing this on purpose? It is a tease, isn't it? Anyway, so when I look at those sort of things, when I look at the kind of lockdown situation in New Zealand, as I mentioned before, the other guy in the army down in between Hawke's Bay and Palmerston North area, I think it's called Linden, the Linden base, I think it's called. They're painting up military vehicles there with fluoro. I don't know if the whole trucks, I don't know if the whole vehicles are fluoro, or if it's just the stripe down the side. But this is getting ready for martial law. I mean, New Zealand will probably have martial law within another 3-4 weeks, if it hasn't really got already. I mean, look at it, it's a police state already. The police are sitting there all happy, like, you know. One thing you'll notice if you've lived in New Zealand a long time, or if you've had dealings with the pigs over there, is you always get that one kind of guy who's a bit of bravado, goes to the gym a lot, pumping himself up, stern face, with his gun and his, oh, you really good trigger control you got there, mate. Ready to fire on your citizens? Fuck off. You know, it's ridiculous. No one's even armed there because of the recent most likely contrived event of an Australian coming to New Zealand, and the police not listening to all the advice they got about the guy who belonged to the Bruce Rifle Club, and you know, they've got people reporting this guy saying this club is a nutter, this guy's a nutter, and they did nothing about it. And then lo and behold, a situation happens just like happened in Australia, to take your guns away. Oh wow, how great! And I know there's many anti-gun people. A lot of my friends in England are anti-gun, a lot of my friends in New Zealand are anti-gun. But, you know, as I've said to my friend who started on the thing of this yesterday, hey Hayden, basically my grandfather's family were half slaughtered and half of them sent to Siberia because they didn't have guns, all right? Now see, I would rather go down shooting and taking those fuckers out than just let evil walk over me. May I furnish you with a fresh knife, my brother, so that they may stab me in a more clean and effective way. Oh, would you like some lube, my brother, so that they may rape my wife more effectively? That's the kind of socialist attitude. Another friend of mine in England, Andy, he won't be watching this. No, maybe he will. Anyway, we get in a lot of these tiffs because he's a diehard socialist, and I used to be to a degree, but I see the ridiculousness of it. I see that both socialism and capitalism feed each other, and they're responsible for you know, millions and millions of deaths. Both of them are, and both of them will cover up what they do, but none more so than socialism to whitewash the past of things that they've done and then start again in a new. I don't know. I think the problem with these things is that you end up with a capitalist utopian belief, and you end up with, you know, it's just ideology, socialist ideology. Neither of them ever work out. Neither of them ever happen, because you always end up getting a mixture of the two of them that feed each other, and then eventually, in the case of, as I spoke about in videos last year, they lead to a global communism. Because what ends up happening, and that communism can be, well, I suppose, let's say global fascism. Because what it ends up is large-scale areas of Earth, let's say the Roman Empire, that end up being ruled by either a kleptocracy, an autocracy. In the future, it could be a technocracy, such as Apple and Google. There was a movie like that. It might be Martian Chronicles. I don't really know. I don't know, but it's about the whole planet is run by basically two corporations, Bauhaus and something else. If you know the movie, please tell me. It was in a DVD I got free in my car when I bought a car in London years ago, and it was in the DVD player, and it was just a copied one, but so I didn't know what the thing was called. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Moving on from that. So you end up with an oligarchy, so basically a bunch of rich fuckers that control everything through fascist, fascist authoritarianism, right? They impose their rule upon you. Rumble, come here, hey! You're an idiot. He just got the 10 shit shocked out of him. By going over electric fence. Rumble! That's what happens when you don't listen. Oh, that's such a shame. Oh my god. Didn't listen though. You were there, you saw the whole thing. Oh no. I shouldn't laugh. He's running all the way home. Oh. Oh, wee man. Right, I'm going to cut this short. But basically, we have no idea what's going on. Balance your time well. Learn. Keep up to date with things, but don't sit there going down every rabbit hole and watching every fucking video. Because at the end of it, if it is, I don't know, end of times or whatever it is, you wish you'd spent more time outside getting some sun, smelling the grass and stuff. And if you spend all your time doing that and you don't prepare, you won't know what's going on, and maybe you could have stopped yourself getting slaughtered. Yeah, that's all I can say really. Oh, poor wee man. Okay, I'm gonna have to get off. Bye.